So season 2 of the incredible Wednesday series is finally here, and in celebration of that and to fill in any gaps that people may have about Wednesday and her entire family, I've decided to go through and break down everything there is to know about the most mysterious and odd family there ever was, from their personalities to their many incredible abilities. As well, and just for good measure, I'll be throwing in what is widely considered to be each of their greatest weaknesses. So with that said, and to not waste any more of your time, let's just jump right into it, with the lady of the hour herself, Wednesday Addams. Now Wednesday is of course the daughter of both Gomez and Morticia, and the teen goth idol for many young men and women of today. She is said to have been named after the phrase Wednesday's Child of Woe, from the poem Monday's Child. And her middle name, which is Friday if you didn't already know, corresponds with the 1887 version of that same poem. In most adaptations, she is mostly an expressionless and angry looking girl, with a monotone and blunt voice. However, she is also occasionally seen smirking, usually either in some mysterious or satisfied manner. This is usually seen after her completing something that was positively heinous. Oh, and while she is intrigued by anything related to the dead, above all her main interest and fascination lies with the physical harm and even murder of her own brother. However, at the same time, she tends to be fiercely protective of him every time anyone else besides her does him any harm. But now as for her abilities, well, she has the ability to see visions and even interact and speak with the spirits of the past, even once or twice using this ability to speak with her own ancestor Goody during the events of season 1. But now even more than that, she's also incredibly intelligent and extremely gifted in pretty much all forms of combat, while also simply just being an incredible detective in her free time. Oh, and realistically, her only weakness, at least as far as I can see, appears to be her own mortality. And maybe, just maybe, her choice in boys. But now moving on, next we have Wednesday's mother, Morticia. Now Morticia is the matriarch of the Addams family and according to certain sources suggested to be some kind of vampire or witch. She is adored by her husband Gomez and is borderline resented by her daughter Wednesday. Although as many of you are aware, Wednesday tends to resent anybody who isn't herself. Now her name Morticia was chosen as a play on the word mortician, again matching her nicely to the dark grim themes that this show and comics tend to present. During her youth and even the some of today, she is considered the most beautiful and gloomy character in the entire Addams family world, with even this poor fucker losing his absolute mind to try and win her over against Gomez, believing it possible to win her heart by killing him off. But now aside from that, she is also known to be incredibly dangerous and cruel to anyone who threatens or harms her family, being stated to even make Wednesday's misdeeds look like nothing when compared to her own. She possesses the ability to summon spirits and have near certain psychic visions, and is considered to be incredibly gifted in the arts of botany, fencing, music, and academics, even once being claimed to have completely aced her SATs. Her only weakness, according to many online, is believed to be her own family, as when any of them are in harm's way, she will do just about anything to save them. But now next we have Wednesday's daddy, and Morticia's beloved husband, Gomez. Now Gomez is the patriarch of the Addams family and is considered to be a naive, handsome and successful man, although one that also possesses a childlike eccentric enthusiasm for everything he does. He's normally a very peaceful man who hates conflict, but is also one that is widely versed in many different styles and types of combat. It's said that he gained his wealth through his inheritance and his many investments. However, while he would invest quite a bit of money on a daily basis, his goal was always to lose them. It was only by sheer luck and his ghoulish sense of humour that he even managed to make a killing in the stock market at all. But now as for his abilities, well, in most adaptations he is portrayed to have enhanced physical abilities and a high tolerance for pain, but it is never specified in any sort of material that he has any supernatural power like Wednesday or Morticia. But given his vast wealth, he honestly might be the most powerful member of that entire family. But now quickly moving on, next up we have Pugsley, the son of Gomez and Morticia, and the brother to Wednesday Addams herself. Now Pugsley is usually the butt of every joke and attack, and while he's mostly obvious to the harm that his sister tries to inflict on him, he is also someone who at times tends to be enthusiastic about it, viewing all her attempts at killing him as fun games that they play together. He's had multiple different variants over the years, and his personality in many of them tends to differ quite a bit, with most depicting him as a deviant child, sharing the same dark personality as his dear sister. However, his depiction in the most recent Wednesday series is completely different to any of this, being shown as a more meek and traumatized version of the character that we all know and tolerate. He's yet to get any storyline of note in the Wednesday series, and like most of the family in that series, tends to just be a supporting cast for Wednesday herself, which is honestly something that I think needs adjusting in the second season. But now as for his abilities and his skills, well, he actually has the ability to generate static electricity from his body, which sounds much cooler than it actually is in his case. But now he's also incredibly gifted in demolitions and explosions, often choosing to blow things up rather than wasting time thinking of a proper way to deal with it. But now as for his greatest weakness, well, it's believed to be both his intelligence and his naive nature. But to me, it's simply just his trust and love for his demented sister. But now moving right along, up next we have Dear Uncle Fester, who is the brother to Gomez Addams and of course the uncle to Wednesday and Pugsley. He is often depicted as the fun, chaotic uncle who is always up to no good. However, while this tends to lead the family into all sorts of trouble, it's never done on purpose, as he actually tends to be very protective of the family and will do pretty much anything they ask of him. He's often said to be the one who taught Wednesday her ways in both combat fighting and torturing techniques, which is also why he tends to be her favourite family member of all. He shares Pugsley's ability to generate static electricity from his body, but tends to be much more skilled and proficient in the ability. He's also considered a master martial artist and nearly invisible when it comes to stealth operations. And aside from maybe his rash behaviour and lack of risk assessment being his greatest weakness, he is said to be one of the only family members to actually have no blatant weakness at all, which is incredibly interesting in my opinion. But now up next, we have Thing, which is essentially the hand that is seen following and helping Wednesday all throughout the series. He's one of the Addams family's biggest mysteries and something that is still widely debated about to this day, as some believe he comes from a family that was cursed to always lend a hand to the Addams, while others believe he is a creature of the world that they exist in. It's incredibly confusing, and the deeper you dig, the more confused you become. But the truth is that Thing's precise nature has never been revealed. Sure, we've met and seen others like him in the past, such as the female Thing, otherwise known as Ladyfingers, and the one picture of both his parents, which again was a picture of a male and female hand holding each other. But that's about it. We have no clue what or who he is, or if he is a curse or something else. All we know is that he's Thing, and he's here to stay. But now aside from that, he has no abilities outside of that of a normal hand and just has the weaknesses associated with a living person, being that he can both technically die and feel physical harm from attacks and injuries. But now in addition to Thing, the Addams family also has this tall, ghoulish manservant named Lurch. He is mostly seen as their driver, but is also considered a jack of all trades, being responsible for most of the tasks and duties around the house. He has great size and strength, but lacks intelligence, and is never really seen showing any emotion. However, he is often very polite to the many members of the Addams family. Oh, and he's also considered quite proficient in the talent of musical arts, such as playing the piano. Aside from that, he's incredibly durable and can withstand most physical damage without any issue at all. As for his weakness, well, according to some online, he is vulnerable to fire, and that's about it. But now moving on, next we have 3 members of the family that have yet to be seen in the Wednesday series, but members of the family that are often seen in all other forms of the Addams family story. They are, of course, Grandmama, Granny Frump, and Cousin It. So starting us off, we have Grandmama and Granny Frump, who are essentially the same person and often mistaken for one another. Now Grandmama, of course, is Gomez and Fester's mother and a witch who deals predominantly in potion spells, hexes, and even fortune telling. She's known for a cynical and morbid sense of humour and her recreational interest in all things the occult. Her greatest weakness, which tends to lead the family into all sorts of trouble, tends to be her fumbling nature. As for Granny Frump, well, take everything I just said about Grandmama and put her name on it, because they are nearly identical in almost every single way, except for the fact that Granny Frump is of course the mother to Morticia. Aside from that, they're essentially the same person. But now as for Cousin It, well, he is a short-statured individual with long hair that covers his entire body. He speaks in a high-pitched voice that only his family seems to understand. He has no powers whatsoever, but is considered highly intelligent, with an IQ that is said to be well over 300, which if you are unaware is a whole 72 IQ points higher than the highest IQ ever recorded in the real world, which is absolutely crazy to think about. But now with that of course does it for every immediate family member of the Addams family. If you enjoyed and want a more in-depth version of each and every family member we spoke of in this video, then tell us down below in the comments and like the video while you're there. And who knows, when we release that in-depth version, we might also include every other member of the Addams family that ever existed. But now of course, for that to happen and for us to know you want it, you have to like this video down below and subscribe so that you don't miss it if we do end up making that video. But for now, and with all that said, I do hope you all have a great day or night wherever you are, and peace.